Hey everybody, this is MC with MC Gaming. Today we're going to be talking about Dungeon Souls, a top-down roguelike developed by Lamina Studios and published by Black Shell Media. Is Dungeon Souls the next great roguelike with other titles such as Risk of Rain or Binding of Isaac, or will it fall flat trying to reheat an already reheated genre? Let's get on with the review and find out. You could probably safely say that pixel art has been around ever since the invention of the pixel. So for decades we've seen pixel art in various formats. I just find it interesting that after all these years I'm still not tired of it. The reason I bring this up isn't because Dungeon Souls has the best pixel art I've ever seen. In fact, it's quite average. I just think that it's cool that the art form has stuck around for so long and we're still seeing it to this day. Dungeon Souls definitely is not the most artistic game I've ever seen, with okay looking levels to 1991 level bad character sprites. Seriously, am I the only one that thinks this Viking looks terrifying? The game is broken up into levels, each with its own theme, such as a creepy library or rat-filled sewers. The levels aren't too bad, and since you're not there for long, it's really hard to notice how mediocre they really are. One major, and I mean major flaw with this game's graphics is how visually noisy this game gets at times. Later on in the game, when you find yourself fighting multiple enemies at once with multiple upgrades and buffs, you will be flooded with text that the developer calls flavor. The thing is, you can turn this off in the settings, but in my opinion, it would have been a much better call to have the flavor option disabled in default, and then let the player know that there is an option for it. Overall, okay graphics. There's honestly not much to the story. You're on a quest to save a loved one and decide that this giant scary castle should have a powerful enough core to save her. Because that makes sense. So you go through the castle's different levels and murder hundreds of innocent creatures, all to save some girl that you don't even know is there. Incredible story. 10 out of 10. Here's where the game saves itself a little bit. When you start the game, you can choose from 3 classes. Later on in the game, you can unlock many more. Each class has varied stats and are named accordingly. When you start the game, you'll have to find seals around each level. Generally, there are between 3 to 5 seals to find. When you walk over a seal, a circle of enemies will appear and you'll have to kill them. You get XP for each kill, and when you level up, you'll be able to upgrade a stat point such as strength or movement speed. Within each level, there is usually a store. You can spend gold on upgrades that vary from extremely useful to why is this even in the game. After you find all of the seals in a level, a portal in the center will open up. As soon as this portal opens, an unkillable enemy known as the Redeemer is sent to drain your energy. I'm assuming this is to keep the player from grinding XP. When you go through the portal, you'll either be transported to the next level to do the same thing again, or to that level's boss. The bosses in this game are okay, but I did find the second to last boss to be very fun. Once you beat the game, you will be sent back to the very beginning to do it all over again, but with much more enemies and all of your previous upgrades. Other than unlocking all of the characters, which I had done after just beating the game once, I didn't see much of a reason to keep playing. There is a crafting area for you to put recipes together, but the game didn't bother to tell me anything about it, or anything else for that matter. If this was better explained, I might have been more interested in how it all works and would be crafting some weapons right now. Overall, the gameplay is pretty good with only a few gripes. Dungeon Souls is currently $13 on the Steam Marketplace. I was sent a review copy, so I didn't have to put any of my own cash down for this title. I have 5 hours clocked in on Steam, which puts that at $2.60 per hour, and if I'd spent my own cash on it, it would not have been worth it. This game should be $5 at most. With terrifying snowmen, decent replayability, and more flavor than William Jonathan Drayton Jr., I give Dungeon Souls a 6.5 out of 10. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining in on my review of Dungeon Souls. If you liked the review, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. If you didn't like the video, make sure to hit that dislike button. If you have any criticism or have any game suggestions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks a lot, everyone.